You're going to lay on your back with your knees bent and your toes pointing forward, feet are hip width apart. And you're going to press gently through the heels and balls of the big toes and watch how my hips tuck just a little bit to feel like my back gets longer on the mat. You're going to feel more snug once you do that, and you'll feel your hamstrings contracting. Be very sure that you're not pulling your heels as a way to pull yourself to your feet, because that's going to be the opposite of what we're looking for. It's just gentle pressure through the heels, balls of the big toes, and you'll feel that your hips tuck up just a little bit, helping your back lengthen and flatten into the floor. Belly should be very relaxed here, just some hamstrings working. We're going to be reaching somewhere about 90 degrees to start. This would be 90, maybe a little bit more forward. And what we're going to be doing is slowly reaching overhead as we go through each breath. The idea is that right now, before we do the exercise, we're probably limited in some rib cage expansion, the upper part of it. So you'll notice that if I try and go back, my ribs arch off the floor. I just don't have that range of motion, and I want to make sure it's coming authentically from the shoulders. So I'm going to manipulate rib cage through breath work, and as I start doing that, I'll be able to get more authentic access from my shoulder blades moving overhead. So once you have the feet set up, that's going to be your anchor. You're going to start reaching, let's say 90 degrees. When you reach, I want you to reach your shoulder blades off the floor, but I don't want your upper back to come off where your breastbone crunches down. So for ladies, that would be nipples facing down. I want the nipples to stay facing up the whole time. It's also going to be very helpful to open the upper chest. So as you reach, shoulder blades reach up, but you're not rounding your upper back off the floor. So keep as much contact, keeping your chin up will help with that as well. Now what I'm going to do is exhale. Feel my ribs deflating toward the floor. And as I'm exhaling, my ribs are rotating this way. So I'm gonna let my arms rotate just a little bit overhead as long as I keep my rib cage position. Then I'm gonna hold here, pause, and breathe in very quietly through my nose, keeping the reach active, keeping my feet active. And you'll feel the rib cage expand 360 into the floor, into the upper chest, but make sure that you keep the position so that's happening for you. Again, no crunching or rounding the upper back. Again, you take another breath from here. Once you inhale, the next exhale. If you find that ribs going down gives you even more room to reach overhead, go for it there. You're going to keep the shoulder blades actively reaching as you move overhead. Pause here and take a breath in through your nose. The idea is that as the ribs go down and deflate, the shoulder blades can glide better as a reach overhead, and this is going to lengthen all the tissues of your back so long as you keep the position, you keep that reach active when you breathe in. You may not get as far overhead as I am here. I'm just demonstrating the possibility of this exercise. You might find that you're limited to maybe just about here. The point is that you're executing it as shown, and over time, over sets, over reps, you might find that you can get so far to the floor that your hands almost touch overhead, and take a breath in here, keeping that reach. So that when you finish with the exercise and stand up, walk around, you'll feel much more loose and mobile in the upper rib cage.